I have a 2014 Honda Odyssey, and the problem is the driver's side door just beeps. When you push this button, it won't even unlock, so you can hear it. Also, when you try to unlock, it will make itself lock. The way I found to get around that is use the unlock here and then reach around. I've already opened it up, but at the same time manually do this. So let's see if I can reach. Alright, so I'm hitting unlock, and then I kind of get where I've kind of forced it up from the inside, and so then I can pull and manually slide. It's tough, but I can manually move the door. So now the door is open. I've already taken the panel off. This right here is a big pain. I'm not going to go through that again, but if you want to watch another video to see how to take the handle off, this has to come off first. Next, you take off this trim piece here, and then the whole rest of the panel just pops off. You can use the cup holder. It's going to have to be pretty close to all the way open. All the way shut. I kind of stuck my foot in the door here to keep it from shutting all the way, but to be able to fit it and pull that panel off. And I've just got the panel sitting back here. Additionally, it's hard to move. I removed the seat. Don't forget, there is this thing right here. Makes it pretty easy. I actually searched for it for a while. It was like, oh yeah, that was easy. But you have to know about it. So now that I've done that, I replaced this piece. Some people said that was the issue. That was not the issue for me. I mean, I can't decide if I'm gonna keep it, might just return it, put the old one back, but anyway, that was not my issue. And since I can't even hear the door motor try to move, and this lock keeps being a pain, it's like it's forcing itself locked. The only thing I can come up with is that it thinks there's some kind of problem that shouldn't allow me to open this door at all. And the only thing I can think of is the gas sensor, because when I have the gas door open, this is how it acts. So next thing I'm going to do is try to figure out where the gas sensor is and disable that or replace that. All right, thanks. I'll come back in a minute. All right, so here's the gas door. There's two different switches in here. I'm not sure which it is. This one and also this one here. I'm gonna fidget around a little bit with them and see if they got jammed or what. Just kind of wiggle and push. To me, it seems like they're working fine, so it may be the components inside the vehicle. So let's close this up and give it a shot, see if by chance this works now. Nope, it still just beeps at me. Alright, next thing to check. Sorry, as you can tell, we're active with our toys and different items, but to disassemble the back here, you take off this first. There's a couple knobs here and over here on the back sides. So this panel just pops off. As you can see, all the different little clips. Hopefully those all stay in place for you. And then this was already cracked on mine, previous owner, but Same deal here. There's a knob up here at the top, and I popped the rest of it off. I'm gonna see if, and then it comes apart at this seam right here, so I can get further in. Be careful though that you don't crack it like mine is. I'm gonna see if I can get back in there and find which connector is the release for that gas sensor, the door sensor. So hold on to that and I'll come back to that. All right, so change of plans a little bit. I had to clear out all my stuff so I could put this seat flat, because this panel here went to pop off more. And again, you have to disconnect right here. It's a cigarette lighter adapter. But other than that, I think it's just gonna pop off. See how it's already pretty loose? It disconnects from the top portion, so you shouldn't have to take off the whole top part. So I'm gonna give that a try here. I've loosened it a lot already, but gave myself some more space. Gonna move this panel out of the way, hopefully. All right. So yeah, it's coming. Oh, come on. There it goes. Trying to separate that. There it goes without pulling the top. So I got pretty good access now inside. So let me look around and figure this out and come back to the video. All right, so as you can see, you can kind of lift it up and pull it out over the seats and things. So right now, got lots of space to get in here. You can see everything. I have an EXL, so it has some connections for video and stuff. I'm not sure if they all do, but anyway, I found the area. This is the part right here. This connects to the gas sensor. So let's try it one more time. Live video, make sure it's still not cooperating. All right, so we still get the 3 beeps. All right, now for the free and easy fix, you just, I think, hopefully we'll figure this out, but hopefully just disconnect this. So it's not gonna utilize that gas door sensor, so be careful if you're pumping gas, for sure. Eventually you would probably want to replace this piece, and I believe you can trace it back, pull off these little foam panels, and I think it's just a simple little twist to pull it out. I don't think it's too difficult. But at the moment I don't have that part. I'm probably going to order it. Maybe I'll make that another video. But right now I'm going to see if that fixed it. I hope it does. So now that I've disconnected that, I'm going to hit the open and close. Yeah, success. So the problem was the door thought the gas fuel door was open and in the way, so it wouldn't allow it to open. So with that fix, we have fixed this problem. I'm going to put it back together. Thank you for watching so much. I appreciate it, and hopefully this saved you some time, money, and could be a potentially free fix if you don't mind just having that disabled. As a quick side note, you can see I've got it mostly back together. A couple issues I had, I want to just point out. Number one, it kept getting hung up on this part. So I pulled this trim. You see these little rubber clips. They kept hitting this trim, so I pulled the trim out, and then I was able to just push the rubber back in over it once the panel was back in place. And then the second thing, I had it back in place, and I remembered I forgot to reconnect the cigarette lighter So also don't forget that piece. All right, thanks. One other side note, these clips, you may have gray, you might have a different color, someone might have replaced them, but these I ordered on Amazon. I'll put the link below. When I was putting this panel back, I broke one up towards the front and I broke one back here towards the back. You want those, otherwise the trim will be loose. So one thing I did as a kind of hack temporarily, because I didn't know if I had any of these on hand, on this back panel piece, I took one kind of off these two middle pieces, and I'm going to put one back now. But just if you do not have them on hand, definitely replace them with something that's easy to get to, because this back piece, it's what goes right here in the back of the trunk space. It would be easy to take it off later after these came in from Amazon, if I needed to order some or get them at the local hardware store or whatever. All right, thanks. All right, here's the back side of that panel I'm going to put back on the door. All these little push tabs are good except for in the middle here, one is missing or broke. I'm going to replace that with the blue that I have, but it's the same. If you can tell, size and general shape, so obviously it won't work if it doesn't fit the same specifications. Here's another small thing I didn't plan on having happen, but now that the door works, it kind of moves on its own. It wants to be fully closed or open. It's going to be a little harder to get it in the position I want to work on it. So if I pull it right here when it's almost closed, that should work. If not, don't forget you have this button where you can enable and disable the sliding doors. So if by chance you needed to just manually slide it, you could do that as well with that off. Okay, now I'm inside. This panel's still not on, but as you see, this is where I stopped the door. Looks like I should have enough room to get this panel in and pop it back on. So first thing, there's a little lip at the top here that goes over here. You have to kind of make sure this trim piece gets in correctly. We're in this groove here. Once that top's on and inserted, you just kind of slide it up, slide it down in. Then you can pop the other pieces, you can pop the other tabs into place. Just make sure they're lined up. So, I don't know if you can see, but this little black piece went on the inside of both of these. So I've got this top in. Back that up. I forgot to reconnect the controls, so I'm gonna have to take this out again. So back here, this needs to plug in. This had to be unplugged when I took this off. It's here, there you go. And there's just on this, my left, right over here, there's a little tiny thing to push in, pull out to take it off, but just make that sure it snaps in. And then I'll try to record this part one-handed here. So again, I just kind of push the top in and let it slide and catch. And the other piece is you got to make sure this goes through. So make sure it's all the way down, all the way down. And then you see this is sitting pretty flush. So I'm just pushing in, popping in. I don't know if you can hear, but popping those tabs in so that they catch on the bottom. So as I test it out, nothing feels loose, feels like it's back on and together. The last step for this part here is putting this back. Again, the tabs are good, so it's just a matter of snapping those three in place and it's back. So now this should work. Hey, Nice, it works. All right, just ran into a problem. It does not seem to want to work without that sensor from the back. Still works from up here. But let me just double check it and turn on the child lock, because that could be the other problem. Oh, yes, I did. All right, so in the middle of all this, make sure you don't turn on the child lock, because that's gonna make it much more difficult. So let's try again. All right, that was it. It was the child lock was engaged. Last step, I'm going to put this handle back in place. Like I said, it's really kind of a pain, but just so you can see this clip, see how it's open at the bottom? It's right there. It just slides on the top and it's a groove. To get that out, maybe there's a great video. Honestly, I had my son help me. I don't even know how he got it, but I think the trick is to pull it out and to get something under this little tiny clip edge there and pop it up, but definitely don't want to lose it. Once you get it, pull this handle off, then I just put it back in place so that it could match up. So let's look at the other side. So the handle just goes up like that. So I'm gonna just fit it on there. Hopefully it's that simple. Just goes and pushes and clicks. So it is now back in place and works. So this thing is back in business. The only thing I'm gonna need to do is put this seat back in here. Just as a quick tip on that, you tip it and hook in the front two parts, make sure they're locked, and then you slide it back and lock in the back. Jiggle it around, make sure it actually catches. You want it to be safe and secure for your passengers. While I'm at it, I guess I will show you what I meant. So if you can see, it goes under, that little hook goes under the bar. So both sides are under, and then in the back it just clips down. So this seat is in. Now I just put it back and ready to go.